Good day, I'm Liz van Eeden, a student teacher at UNISA, with the assignment to create an innovative educational resource. Today's lesson will be on literature with the aim to prepare my students for the junior examinations. Grade 8 to 12 students are given a prescribed book, told to read it and then write assessments on it. However, they are not always properly guided or prepared on how to study and analyze literature. Therefore, I created McSteven. McSteven is an acronym for the section that we will go through today in analyzing literature. Firstly, we look at the medium, the type of literature that students are exposed to. Often you will hear that students say, "I don't like reading. Books are boring," which is an excellent place to start, because literature is not always confounded in words, but expression, such as in stage plays and films and dramas. Therefore, asking students what their favorite film is gives you a greater understanding of who they are, what they appreciate in the arts, and how to navigate the discussion further. My favorite is characterization. Each student gets a character ID that they need to fill in for the characters. This prompts questions like, what is their age? What is their occupation? Their physical characteristics, personality, their interesting facts that is given throughout the book. We look at favorites, getting to know the character on a personal level. And then also character growth and progression, which is a fundamental part of the literature examination paper. I like to introduce this topic by asking my students to write about themselves on this character ID. As you can see, McSteven is 16 years old. He is a high school student, but he also works part-time. Allowing students to actually answer these questions on behalf of themselves and not a character will help you understand your learners better, but it will also help them navigate their thoughts, their ambitions, what they think about themselves. Then another part that I use is the Sims for Create a Sim feature. This feature allows a gamer to answer questionnaires in order to create your character. This is a team effort in my classroom where the collective has to answer the question, majority wins. This learns the students that choices have consequences. So as you can see, they are choosing their answers. This is also a great way to engage with students and making it fun. There you can see with my story, the characters' choices has their consequences. You can choose their name. You can also randomize the character to the image that you have. You can choose their clothing. There's exhibits that each character in the book does not have the same clothing style. We can also see that there is fixed styles like here, where characters can fit in a mold. Then we come to the summary. Summary is an important aspect that is often neglected by students. Students don't like to read the same book twice, even 3 times. So to help them work smarter, not harder, the summary, if done properly, will be a great revision method. It explains the characters in the chapter. It sets the place and time of where it took place, the events, the key moments that happened, the vocabulary. Often books are prescribed that is in a different dialect or that is in a different time period with other words. Then we look at the title. I've always been puzzled about the title, and answers like what events tie in with it or what references are made within the book will help you understand the title better. Also, the characters, the actions, and the words will support or contradict the title. Symbolism and hidden meanings. This is shown throughout the little moments that the author has written. In the book, My Family and Other Animals, the title suggests that the family is part of the animals, the chaos in their lives. So, helping students understand the title will help them understand the content and context of the storyline as well. Then we look at exposition and story progression. Oftentimes, the literature paper focuses on how the story progressed, what changed in the character or the storyline, what conflict motivated the character to react and act as they did. The climax is the pinnacle of the story, what happened, what victory was made and how. Resolution is that ending. In a romantic movie, it's often that when the place where the main characters meet up again after a fight, profess the love like in Romeo and Juliet, and then die. We also look at voice, which is the narrator of the story. There are two that are often used, first person and third person, allowing the students to answer these questions, like what does a first person look like? Why do we use it? The same with third person will aid their understanding behind the purpose of it. So if we look at third person, I often ask one of my students to speak in third person, and the class have to comment on whether it's annoying, whether it was effective, and this measure will give you a clearer understanding. Then we look at external and internal conflict, which is the fight that the character has with someone or himself. Then notes is the themes that we look at, the central idea that binds the storyline. We look at literary devices as given on literarydeviceseditors.com, where we look at the simile, the metaphor, the personification, the imagery, and the paradox. Asking these questions will allow students to answer and engage with the material, as well as dive deeper into what they know. The criteria of the assignment was to facilitate deep learning, which is done through collaboration, through previous knowledge and reasoning. Students are often given a task but not the reason. So this analysis allows students to understand why and where the information is needed. Then we look at the engagement. Engagement is done through the questionnaires that the educator prompts, as well as through the gamification. Then to make this content accessible, it is done through a PowerPoint that is presented on a smartboard and projector. Furthermore, the material can be accessible on hard copy, whether it's a booklet or whether the students are writing it down. And then most schools have a school-approved interface like Schoology that can be uploaded onto. Then to make the learning experience fun and enjoyable is through the characterization. I have used ChatGPT to create the character in the PowerPoint, which is a good way to integrate digital and technology into a way. Other ways is with the idea in picture to create like descriptive words, or students have to draw it. Then to promote critical thinking, students have to go deeper. It is not a spoon-fed resource, but more so giving them questions and exposure to the themes, to the ideas that they have to explore further. Thank you very much.